Good morning, YouTube friends. This is Francie with Finding Joy Through Serving, and I have had the 10 Van Question Challenge presented to me by Ann's Tiny Life. So I want to go over those questions, and I'm not living in a van full time, so my experience is just doing little trips and stuff like that. I did build out a van into a camper van. So I have a little bit experience, but not a lot. So I'll try and do the best I can with the questions. So the first question is the make and model of your van. Right now I have a Jeep Patriot, and I think it's a 2017. I have not camped in this yet, but I will be. And so the van I had was a Honda Odyssey, and it was a 2006. So anyway, that was the make and model of the van. How long did the build out take? I did it over time, so it's kind of hard to say it took this long or that long. But if I did it, I don't know, it wouldn't take me that long, probably a couple weeks. I use a cot for my bed, so there's not a major build out. I did do a floor, so, but it was pre-cut. I measured the van and had Home Depot cut it, so that was just put in there. So it didn't take very long. I think with build outs, you do it initially, get your place to sleep and stuff like that, and then you change it as it goes. You kind of add to it. So I don't think it would take but a couple of weeks. And if you didn't work full time, you could probably do it within a week. So I made it pretty simple so I could take it out if I needed to. I used things that I already had, some shelves I already had, and so it was a pretty simple build. It wasn't complicated. My favorite place to stay, so far I've gone to state parks, and I enjoy them, any of them that I've been to. I think my favorite was probably the one where my neighbor across from me had a skeleton sitting at her picnic table, so that was kind of unique and gives me some memories anyway. So that's neat, and I'm looking forward to going to some more state parks. I think I feel safer at a state park. I haven't tried boondocking yet, or even Walmarts or rest areas, so that's all to come in the future. The worst place to stay, I haven't really stayed in a worst place yet. For me, just imagining and thinking, it would be the Walmart parking lots or a gas station. I'm not going to say rest areas, because sometimes rest areas are nice. Mostly because I want to go out to see the creation. I want to see nature. And so to sit in a Walmart parking lot, there's not much to see but a parking lot. But I can see definitely using them as I'm traveling through states, or staying at rest areas. But like I said, rest areas sometimes are very scenic, so I wouldn't put them as a worst place. I would say Walmarts are probably the worst, or truck stations, stuff like that, and not worse in the sense of the location, or I guess it is location, because there's just no scenery to see. So that would be my thing. And how many people in my van? It's just been me and my dog, so it's pretty small. I couldn't imagine having too many people in there, because it's just a small space. It's hardly enough just for yourself. So van life disasters. I haven't had, the only disasters I have is the van breaking down, and not necessarily why I'm out camping or anything, but just using it in everyday transportation, just constant breakdowns and having it repaired. So definitely get a vehicle that is dependable and won't don't have as many breakdowns. It's just, try to get the best one that you can afford would be my recommendation. And then the favorite feature on my van, I don't know. I was trying to think, my van, the favorite feature. I know in the Honda Odyssey, like the back seat, I could fold down into the back, so I never had to take that out. If I did have to take that out, you would have that hole in the bottom where the seat fits into. You would have that all for storage. And when I've thought of purchasing other vans, if I ever go back to a van, the Dodge Caravan, all the seats fold down to the floor. And Chrysler Town & Country, I used to have one of those vans, and I loved it. The seats fold down to the floor. So if you take the seat completely out, that gives you like a little basement storages. So the more storage you can have in a van, the better. In my Jeep is pretty plain, but I do like the fact, I know one of my favorite features on my Jeep. The rear view mirror has something on it, so people's lights don't appear so bright into your eyes. So when I'm looking at my rear view mirror, their lights are not so bright, and I love that. So, but the side ones, it's still the same. But that's pretty cool because, yeah. So the least favorite part of van life for me is I'm not living it full time right now. So my goal is to be out there full time. I don't know for how long I want to do that, but I want to get out there and do it. So yeah, just not being able to do it full time, not being able to get as many trips as I want to, just not being out there. Yeah, all the other stuff that happens, your van breaking down, and that's going to happen. So for me, it's just not getting out there. The favorite part of van life, question number 9. I haven't really numbered the questions, have I? Oh well. The favorite part of van life is the freedom. And I'll try to explain that. It's just when you're out there, it's like, I guess it's just don't feel as responsible for everything. There's a freedom of just sitting there out in nature and drinking your coffee and not feeling like you have to rush somewhere, or you have to run some errands, or you have to do this, or you've got to do that, or I don't feel that when I'm out. And it would be wonderful if I could feel that all the time and not just on a little vacation type of thing, but just the freedom of being able to go anywhere you want, stay anywhere you want, and being able to go see things that you haven't seen. I think that would be one of my favorite things. And then advice to potential dwellers. Well, right now I am in the practice stage, and so one of my pieces of advice would be to practice it. If you have a vehicle that you can go out in, practice. Go out, take a weekend, take a few days, and go sleep in the vehicle. Or if you're going to use a tent, whatever you're going to do. I'm going to do a little bit of both. I have figured out how I can sleep in this vehicle. These seats recline almost all the way back. And so I think if I were to sleep in here, I'd probably sleep in one of the front seats and see how it goes. I was surprised how far back they reclined, and I laid down on them, and it's actually not too bad. But I could also put a foam mattress over there as well. But for me, what I discovered by practicing is that I really want something where I can stand up. And so that has led me to using a tent more so I can stand up, because I can't stand up in the vehicle that I have right now. But in an emergency situation, if I needed to be in it because it's raining or the weather doesn't allow you to tent camp, I could sleep in here. So, but I do want to be able to stand. So my advice would, get a dependable car, of course, but go out and practice it before you decide this is what's for me, because that is what taught me or showed me that if I'm able to do this full time, the vehicle I get to do it full time will be one I can stand up in, whether that's a van that I can stand up in a van, or if I tow a travel trailer. So those are my pieces of advice. I hope one day I can be doing it more on a full-time basis. A lot of that is finding the right jobs, because I would still have to make an income. So just doing a lot of research. So that's my 10 questions. I didn't number them, but I think I got them all. So anyway, I will tag some people to do this, and you all have a blessed day. I want to go ahead and finish up the 10 question challenges about the van. So all I need to do is tag some people to do it, and I don't know if they've done it already before, but I want to tag Vivian's Van Adventures. I don't know that she watches my channel, so if some of you watch her, let her know that she's been tagged. And the other one is Jody Lynn. She lives in her van now, and I don't know if she's done this either. I didn't search their videos, so anyway, I'll challenge those two to do the 10 questions about living in a van.